This is a walk along the rarely observed eastern side of Kilbirnie Loch. Next to the railway, the whisky bonds, and this area here has been infilled over the year with silt brought in from the streams. Vegetation around us, most of it is reed canary grass with meadowsweet. Those are the dominant flora just here. But we're walking through like a small forest of them. Looking across the way is the main section of lochshore at Kilbirnie, most of which is actually infilled, mostly from the slag and from the buildings from the old Glengarnock steelworks. So the loch was much larger, in the sense of longer, going down towards Kilbirnie, or from the north towards the southwest. And of course also the loch, looking across to the western shore, much of that was infilled with slag. Walking along it is much like walking on concrete. Not the whole section, about the first third of the loch's length. Mind you, the loch's no stranger to industry. In the far distance, not really able to make it out from here, there was a retting pond back in the 18th century. That is a pond deliberately dug to leave flax to ret or rot in before it's further prepared. In the distance here we've got some typha being the reed mace, and it appears to be from here horsetails, or in Scotland something called mare's tails, growing in the water. Most of the trees here are very dark bark, black bark. That's because of the alcohol, the angel share coming from the nearby whisky bonds, that is causing Ordonia componensis, a type of fungus, a very dust-like fungus which grows upon the bark, giving it that black colour. Doesn't appear to do any harm, and certainly the alcohol in the air reduces the growth of the likes of mosses and lichens. This is interesting. There seems to be some sort of boundary wall, at one time very substantial, almost looks like the wall of some sort of building. It appears to be where there's been a gate preventing access from people coming from the loch shore, the Kilbirnie end, heading further up the loch. Large blocks. They now give a sort of castellated appearance. Some of the blocks standing up separately. That's probably just an artefact of the demolition of the wall. Now moving into willow, hawthorn, scrub or woodland. Much drier here, quite a different habitat. Still a great deal of reed canary grass here. Small ponds here on the left have got more horsetails growing in them, but also, slightly unusually, we have the bog bean menianthes, not found in many places. This is this larger single-leafed plant, single-leafed in sense of long stalks. So that's bog bean. These are hard heads, these purple plants. Centora nigra. here's the reed mace. Also known as bulrush. Here's an alder with its pine cone-like fruit, pseudo-cones. They're not really cones at all. This is not a coniferous plant. They just appear that way. This does not appear to be a native alder. This is a species brought in and planted. These are all the meadow sweet fruits here. We can hear the wind direction causing the waves to lap on the shore. Here's some silver birch. So we're moving into willow birch woodland. Here's some hawthorn and some dog rose with their rose hips, very rich in vitamin C.